Hey guys, Maldiva here. If you didn't know who I am, I'm a streamer for Method and a multi-rank 1 Warlock. Today I want to talk to you about how I think Warlocks overall performed in Legion, including what they struggled with, and briefly go over Warlocks and BFA, including the spec you'll see the most success with in PvP, coupled with how I think the GCD changes will affect them. Before getting into the video, I want to remind everyone that if you found this brief overlook helpful, to like the video and subscribe, enabling notifications to know when we upload so you never miss out. Let's get into it. So overall, I thought Legion was a pretty good expansion for Warlocks in PvP. Towards the end, every Warlock spec was viable in PvP, which was really awesome. I would say we did struggle against most melee in the game specifically. Turbo Cleave is one example of one of the comps Warlock struggled with. This is Enhancement Shaman, Arms Warrior, with a variety of different healers. This comp has a big go every minute with Bloodlust, which the Warlock either needs to find a way to escape, or use a cooldown to try to tank the damage. Destruction has a 1 minute cooldown on their wall, which helps to tank it a bit, but the other two specs have a longer cooldown which doesn't line up well with Bloodlust. Therefore, eventually you'll be out of cooldowns and not have an answer to their burst. Some of the things I weren't so happy about in Legion were the amount of mana issues we had as Demonology and Affliction. Struggling with mana always seemed like a constant uphill battle, always in Arena, especially when playing in and versus specific comps where mana was that ever-escaping luxury we so desperately needed to push through and be able to do damage, while trying to use life tap a lot, which would of course cost you a lot of health, and essentially have you taking 1 step forward with 2 steps back. And don't even get me started on Fear costing 10% mana. A solution to this would be to reduce the mana costs of most spells and or increase self-healing a bit to compensate for the amount of life taps needed. Destruction was excluded from this issue because of the talent Reversed Entropy, which would restore mana, making it the choice for most. My other complaint about Legion for Warlocks was Demonic Circle being made into 1 spell, as opposed to 2, which it was in the previous expansions. Great news to hear that it's being returned to 2 spells come BFA. There's been a lot of talk about GCD changes and how negatively it's going to impact the vast majority of classes. However, my opinion on it for Warlocks will be excluded from the huge shift in playstyle, as we don't have many offensive cooldowns to begin with. With that being said, I really do feel like we're going to be excluded from this whole GCD change and won't be a big deal at all for Warlocks. Going into battle for Azeroth, of course, artifact weapons and traits will be going away. And so with that, we will lose our artifact ability for each spec, meaning Reap Souls, Thalkils, and Dimensional Rift will be a thing of the past and put into the WoW graveyard. Warlocks overall in BFA are looking very balanced and exciting so far from what I've seen. Demonology is looking like it's a small leap ahead of the other 2 specs. However, bear in mind that as we currently stand in Legion, that all 3 specs are viable in PvP. You also need to remember that your specs are not as set in stone as they were initially in Legion, as we won't be tied to our artifact weapon and artifact level, meaning you'll be more free to swap specs to whatever you enjoy playing or whatever you think will get you that arena win versus specific comps. What are you most excited about for Warlocks and BFA? Is there something changed from Legion you still want them to implement? Let me know your opinions in the comments below. Again, I'm Maldiva. If you got a question or maybe want to find more of my content, you can find me at twitch.tv/Maldiva, as well as MaldivaWow on Twitter. You can find all the links in the video description. Remember to hit that video with a like if you did enjoy it, and finally, have a great day and thanks for watching.